and feel more in a way. Your perception is shifted because you're not trapped in here. So this kind of mirrors, right? There's a mirroring effect going on within the bodies, within the light bodies, within the physical bodies, and depending on your level of awareness, it'll be how much you can perceive within that interaction, how much you can perceive of your environment and of this person. So, and then also what happens, so the bodies are reflecting, right? This is only perceivable from when you're sitting up here and you don't identify with anything down here. So your bodies are reflecting, you're getting a read of what's going on. Excuse me, I'm taking a drink. So your bodies are reflecting, the chakra systems are reflecting, because remember, we are all one. The one is all and the all is one. So, of course, you're going to reflect and know what's going on. If you're clear, it's very obvious because it comes up within your vessel, within your bodies, within your mind. So, yes, but in order to perceive this has to be quiet, have nothing going on. And your kind of life doesn't have to be, well for me it sort of has to be very still in here for you to really see anything, because otherwise it's clouded. Anyway, so what happens? So this is reflecting on here, you're getting a read. You can look at your chakra systems, it's coming from the heart chakra, you know, what are they feeling? You have to ask yourself first, is it me, is it me? You know, because like this is still possible for other people, even if you have a couple of issues. It's still possible because you can still live in this part of your mind. You know, live this part of your awareness can be still mainly in your higher mind. I think this is what happens to a lot of people. So you have to ask yourself first, you know, is this me? And this is where the self-inquiry and the honesty really has to begin with self and within your own being. You have to be honest with yourself, you know, and that can be the hardest thing. But you have to ask yourself, so in the situation, ooh, am I feeling this? Am I anxious? Am I nervous? And if you're not, and there's no reason for you to be, then it's most likely the other person. Because if this is going off, then it will be going off here as well. You know what I mean? So you if you know your chakras and if you understand all these things, it will really give you a good read. And if you have got friends and family that will confirm what you're saying, it's even more helpful because you really get that confirmation. You're like, oh yeah, wow, and it reinforces that belief in yourself and what you're capable of. But the thing is, when you actually tell people or ask people, they get so scared and shocked, well, how do you know this? They don't want to open up, and a lot of the times they're not even honest enough with themselves to even know that is actually happening, or that's how they actually feel. So they just cover it up with more lies or whatever. Anyway, so that's the bodies, that mirrors. Then you go into the mind. So the mind also mirrors, right? So their issues, their things, whatever they're thinking, right? Because you're a clear mirror, right? So nothing's really going on for you. You can step out of meditation and just be Zen master and so chilled and just like floating, you know what I mean? And in flow and just cruising along, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You start hanging out with someone, and you just start feeling it. Because what happens is this is reflecting, so you might feel in your body like, whoa, you can feel the energy, you know, whoa, it's too much. But then also, this, because you've still got a lower mind, so your lower mind is the mind of, fear and love. So you've still got that, right? The difference is, so the conscious clear mirror, he or she would have, well, they do, it's part of the vehicle, it's part of your car, you know what I mean, it's one of the functions. So it still has its physical mind, it doesn't really identify with it because it's done all the work and it's cleared all its issues out. Or for whatever reason, there's got nothing there. They've had a huge awakening and they've done the work themselves, you know, whatever. Anyway, so they've cleared this out. But, and I think actually a lot of people are sort of almost here or here, you know, I think this is definitely going to unfold for a lot of people. I guess that's why this information is coming out. So, when you interact, reflecting down here in your bodies. When you interact, reflecting over here. So it gets weird, right? Because this, you're clear. All of a sudden, you meet Susie over here, right? And I'll give Susie some hair, shouldn't I? Poor Susie. There you go. We gave Susie some hair to make her look pretty. Okay, so Susie comes over, and all of a sudden, this happens to you. And you're like, whoa, what's going on? And you can just, because this is reflecting, right? So what happens, okay, so what happens is, so this is reflecting, and you're going, oh fuck, you know, oh my god, blah, 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 you're thinking you're getting tricked. So what happens when this starts happening, a lot of people, they then, because it reflects within your physical mind, so it pulls your awareness from here down to here, and then you're operating on this level, okay? But if you can hold your vibration, right, by keeping your awareness here, in your higher mind, and still just observe, look down, you know what I mean? Or from your third eye, from your higher mind, you know what I mean? You're looking down at your lower mind, and you can see, you can observe the reflection taking place, because you know that you're clear, you're chill, there's nothing really going on, you've done the work, you know what I mean? And maybe you just walked out of meditation, and you're so just super chill, there's nothing on your mind, there's nothing bothering you, or you've had holidays, you've had an amazing time, you know, it could be anything. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a conscious clear mirror, but just at this time, there'll be nothing there, you know, just say for some people. So this reflects, and that's why people unconsciously go around like this, around exchanging energy, but unconsciously. You know, it's a real unconscious flow, and they're getting disrupted, and they're fighting and arguing, because you're just arguing and fighting with yourself. You know what I mean? And people think they're what is it? Empathetic, and psychic, and your intuition is amazing, and you know, but like really, in a much more simpler way, we are all the same freaking thing, and we are all shards of the same mirror. So when you're a clear reflection. So you can, and when you're sitting up here, you know, you can see, you just know, it becomes so obvious, right? So, and then, so a lot of the time, once you can sit up here and you know, and you sort of worked it out, you can then, what actually happens is that you're aware that this is taking place. You're aware that these issues are not yours, they are actually Susie's over here, you know? And so then what ends up happening, because remember, we're all one. So her spirit mind, this is her higher self, or this is her higher self, you know what I mean? Because it's the same higher self, really, ultimately, and if you're a conscious clear mirror, it kind of like merges, and then it like this communicates with this, or this just becomes this, and whatever this person needs, right, for all her issues, it reflects in there. So you know what they need, and it just flows out, and you can just help them and tell them and say the right words to Susie over here that will make her smile even bigger, and will probably help her clear one of her fucking issues out. So in that way, a conscious clear mirror is really good, because, you know, especially when people seek help, then this person has no choice, because they are all that is. They become this person, and whatever this person needs, it just flows out of them to them. It's like, you can say it however you want, their higher self contacts this one's higher self, but it's all one higher freaking self anyway, really. You know what I mean? There is soul fragments, but ultimately we're all one. So, yeah, so that's kind of the mirroring thing. And then I think what happens with a lot of people, I think a lot of people are pretty freaking clear here, so they would be quite aware and very intuitive, and they would understand this on some levels. And yeah, but it's quite tricky. It's really quite tricky, because when you do start reflecting, right, it can be quite full on, because you're feeling it in your body, and then you're getting all these thoughts, feelings, and everything arising. But the thoughts and feelings, how they come up within you, it's not like, oh, Susie needs my help in this, or Susie needs my help in that. No, it reflects up within you like they're your issues. So, like, Susie might need help with her work, right? So, for this person, it might be like, oh, I need help with my work, oh, work's stressing me out, and blah, blah, blah. So you start identifying with what she's identifying with. Or it could go the opposite way, because it's mirror. So it's like, oh, work's great, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And then there could be an off sort of thing happening. But like, when you're sitting up here, you're aware. You know what I mean? You don't really do much, you just let things flow and everything just sort of works. It's weird. But, so, and then what happens? So when you help Susie, you know what I mean? She's dropped one more of her big issues. She walks away with a big smile on her face and she's happy, right? So then you go home and you're alone again, but you still feel shit. You still are thinking that, oh, work, blah, 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 and oh, the kids and this. That was all of her shit. But you know what I mean? If you aren't aware and you start identifying with that, you'll leave Susie. You might not even really help her. You know what I mean? Her smile won't be that much bigger. And you will go home with all your own issues, thinking that you've worked it out, but then you're just being triggered, and Bobby's pissing you off, and your mum, and your kids, and this, and everything's getting to you, because this is still reflecting in your mind. It's brought you back down, and you think you're being trapped and everything, and you're triggered and everything, but it's just that you're identifying again with your lower physical mind, ego mind. So that's why people always say clear, 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 meditate, create space, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. So, you know, you go, breathe, go to nature, meditate, breathe, go, oh, God, that's not mine. That's just Susie's over there. God, I'll just let it go, let it go, let it go. You know, clear it all out. Meditate. Ta-da! And you're back to Zen, and you're back up here. You know what I mean? And you're by yourself, and you're back to peace. Next time you go to meet someone, the same thing fucking happens, and you start catching on. So that's where like breath control and breath work on the spot, and just that will give you that instant awareness. So when you meet someone, just realize that you're a mirror, that everything's reflecting. And if you start thinking like this, you'll start noticing it. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. You will start noticing it. But you have to get this mind to start thinking along those terms. You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully that is helpful. So just remember to create space in your physical mind. And eventually, you know, even if you create space, you might have one or two issues down there. But the more you do that, the more you live up here, the more you start accessing your spirit and living in this area rather than this. I know it's hard, but there has to be a balance within your whole vessel. And the only way you can really work that out is from delving into this part of your mind, your spirit mind, your high mind. Okay. Hopefully that is helpful. Am I forgetting anything? I think that's all for now. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Bye.